You will enter a world where a young boy's imagination becomes a vivid reality. The world of Atreyu and Artax, the Rockbiter, and a good and kind gnome. A world that is vast and eternal, treacherous and dazzling, unforgettable and free. For anyone who's ever made a wish, believed in a fantasy, or had a dream, this is the Never-Ending Story.
Hello, Al Pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends. The film from 1984, the fantasy classic, The Never-Ending Story. A film that has entered the culture in many, many ways since its release. We'll talk about that a little bit. Of course, the friends, though, joining us, the lovely childlike Empress herself, the lovely Netter of Netters Network. How are you doing, my dear? What you drinking tonight?
I'm doing very well, and I am back to drinking, because I have nothing else, Meyer brand sparkling water berry flavor.
Oh, so I thought that's what you usually drank anyway.
Well, I had switched briefly to the Jewel's food store brand, Signature Select, because we happened to shop there at one point.
So it's kind of like when I have to go with Mountain Lion instead of Mountain Dew.
Well, it depends on if we shop at Jewel or Meyer. If we shop at Jewel, I get the Jewel brand. If we shop at Meyer, I get the Meyer brand.
Yep. And also her better half, and a man who I cannot think of tonight without picturing him wearing Lamal's hairstyle. And if you know who Lamal is, you know what I'm talking about. Google it now and think of that hair on Mr. Troy Pacelli of Last Call with Troy Pacelli. How are you doing, sir?
And there was a flock of seagulls, and that's about it.
It's quite a hairstyle. It's quite a hairstyle.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Actually, this hairstyle you're seeing right here is that was the last time I wore it that way. The following year was my freshman year in high school, and I started wearing it back in like a pompadour, and continued that way until, well, the hair just kind of kept going in that direction until I realized I no longer had a hairline in the front of my head anymore. So, but
I do want to say it's kind of scary. We could have been brothers. I look very similar to that at that age, so that's kind of frightening.
I think it's actually absolutely spot on. It's
I mean,
when you just letting everyone know what we talk about behind the scenes. You asked me, or you told me who your icon was going to be, and I had already known what you were going to choose. I knew in advance. Yeah.
I chose the Rockbiter. I'll explain now before I get to the chat, so everybody knows. Back in 2006, as most of you know, I went through a very serious 14-hour neck surgery. I had been for 6 months or more, actually, gradually losing the sense in my left hand. Then I started having trouble walking, and then it went to my right hand. I was literally falling apart. And I was one day sitting there, and I could not grasp my left hand, and I could barely pick up a fork to feed myself towards the end. But I would look at my hands, and I could not help but think of the Rockbiter's line in this film. It's like, they used to be such strong hands. And I would do that. I would just look at my hands, and that line would just repeat in my head over and over and over again. So I really felt like akin to him. It's like, man, they used to be such strong hands. Thankfully, 14 hours of surgery, and when I woke up, first thing I did was made a fist with my left hand, and that was a very good thing. But that's why I chose the Rock Biter. Plus, he is a handsome fella. Come on, I mean, just look at him. Let's say hi to our chat tonight. Matt Inui here. He says, I looked into the fifth wall breaks a bit, and the only difference I see is the character speaking to the writer, not the viewer or the reader. So I don't feel fifth wall breaks are a real thing. Uh-oh,
yeah,
here we go.
And I just told him maybe he should wait and hear what I have to say about it before saying I'm wrong.
JPRPH1, thank you for joining us. Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, welcome. Lady Miss, the garden nymph herself. Netters Network, saying hello and hi, sweeties, and flirting with that young little boy there in that circle.
Young boy, you know.
Last call with Troy Pacelli, or of course telling Matt and Nui about talking about the fifth wall a little bit. Deleted Scenes, welcome, sir. Chris, Deleted Scenes will be joining me this Friday as we kind of get our old monster movie hat on and going to be watching 1954's Them with the giant ants. One of my favorites. Sir Torrin Clegane, welcome, sir. Going down, let's see who's here. Sir Torrin saying hi to a lot of people there. Space Fraggle, there you go. Wouldn't miss this for the world, Big Al. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we could help. Remember, the Cosby link is at the top. So, of course, if you don't have your own copy and want to watch along tonight, that is the best way to do it. Slasher Fred, the movie kind of almost feels like a precursor to the series Once Upon a Time, because the plot involving a young boy who is drawn into a storybook and discovers it's more than it appears to be. A little bit. I loved Once Upon a Time. That was a fun series. I really enjoyed that. Curtis Selby, welcome. Samuel Proctor. So I watched in the theaters with my grandma last year. It was such a great experience. That is so cool. The only movie I remember watching with my grandma in a movie theater was Grizzly, which is weird. I mean, go grandma. God rest her soul. Going down the list, seeing who's here. I think I got everyone, and I think I did. If I missed you, I am so sorry. But yes, 1984. I think I saw this movie in the theater, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm certain that I did not see it in the theater. That's why I think I didn't see it until the following year, because I remember watching it on cable.
I saw it on cable.
If I did, I probably saw it like a double feature. We had a theater that did double features, and I like it would have been like because at the time we had 3 movie houses in the county, which tells you, I mean, it's a small little rural county, but we had the 2 carried first runs. And then the other one kind of, maybe a few months behind. And I think that's when I saw it, but I'm not sure. I do know that I perused it a few other extra times on cable. That I do know. It is, of course, big in the culture because that song, which is just oh so catchy, The Neverending Story by Lamal, the lead singer of Kajagoogoo. Who remembers that? Kajagoogoo.
I remember Kajagoogoo, yeah.
Kajagoogoo, what a great name for a band. Kajagoogoo. And, of course, appearing in season 3 of Stranger Things and having images of Falcor everywhere. I think has appeared on, like, American Dad and other things. So this is always a lot of fun. But you said very important to you, Troy, that it was kind of significant for you.
Yeah. This one was, and I've talked about this a number of times about my brother who's severely autistic, and the whole reason that my mother even got cable was so that he could watch, the kiddie type programs that he enjoyed. He loved Fraggle Rock on HBO. He loved, really anything having to do with Jim Henson. He struggled a little bit with The Dark Crystal, for example, but he saw this as being very much.
There was the Shelley Duvall story. God, this was great.
What was that called? Fairy Tale Theater, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another, The Storyteller, which I think there was another one. I think it was The Storyteller. I want to say it was John Hurt.
Everything that Nickelodeon played, all that kind of stuff. And this film, he wanted to watch over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And there was there's some intense stuff in here that he struggled with a little bit, but yeah, this was a big one.
Definitely. There's some stuff there that has caused a great amount of anxiety for lovers of horses, especially.
Well, and it's usually, I see it as a meme on the internet all the time, talking about how children of our generation were not spared dealing with strong emotions and coming to grips with reality, and maybe the successive generations need a little bit more of that.
Yeah, Slasher Fred, the original movie is told from Atreyu perspective. The sequel's told from Bastian's perspective. Well, they kind of explain it at the end a little bit about, the further adventures, but that's another story kind of thing. Slasher Fred, one of my favorite Nickelodeon series was Eureka's Castle, and it was produced by horror writer R.L. Stine. I think I remember that. Sir Torrin was negative 746 days old when this movie was released in the United States. that's pretty funny. Geek Flag, welcome. So that's why we didn't grow up to be. I think it means snowflakes. Yeah, with the old things, like I used to drink from the garden hose. Used to ride in the back of a pickup truck. But yeah, let's get this. We are watching the theatrical version, which of course there is a German version out there that doesn't have the Lamal song, and it has a different soundtrack. It's still a good version. I've actually seen a lot of it. It's actually, I think, 7 more minutes more in it. But we're watching the original release in America version because, America.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to go, Troy?
I absolutely am. Yeah.
Okay, let's get this never-ending story started in 3, 2, 1, play. Do 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 do. Da, 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 da.
Exactly. Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot.
Warner Brothers and Producers Sale Organization present a Bernd Eichinger and Bernd Schaefer production. And here we go with the song.
I love this. I really, really do. This tune got a lot of airtime on the radio too.
Yeah.
Again, I've always said back in the 80s, these pop songs in movies caused a great deal of cross-pollination. You'd hear the song over and over again on the radio, you'd go see the movie, or you'd see the movie and then you'd hear the song on the radio a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the song really wasn't as big a hit until the film hit cable, because the film didn't do great in the theater.
That's true.
It didn't become a hit until it hit cable.
And that's when, the whole idea behind cable for the motion picture industry was, it's a great way to license out our products and make additional revenue. What they didn't realize was, even if it didn't do well in the theaters, it might catch on and we get big bucks later on.
Yeah, but I just remember watching Stranger Things, which I love Stranger Things, season 3.
Oh yeah.
When they start singing this,
yeah,
it brought joy to my soul.
Right?
It just has that up. Yeah, it makes you feel good.
That really is one of the selling points of Stranger Things.
Yeah, the member berries are strong with that one.
And even this, what we were seeing in that opening, I don't even know how they did that. It was really cool looking.
It's just some beautiful effects. This was the most expensive film ever done outside of the US or Russia at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, Wolfgang Petersen, of course,
Right.
He did Dust Boot, right? Am I thinking of the right guy?
I don't remember. I had to laugh at this one too. Struggling with the jam jar.
Major Dad.
Right.
Gerald McCraney.
That's right. He was Major Dad.
Yeah, I loved Major Dad. That was a fun show. Delia Scene said yes, it was Dust Boot. Did you know there were 2 Neverending Story TV series? One animated, used to air on HBO, and the other was a live action series that used to air on the Hallmark Channel. I did not know that. I know there are 2 other movies,
which I have, and they kind of suck.
Yeah, I've never really. I kind of sort of have seen parts of number 2, and I kind of was like, nah.
Welcome, Digsby. Digsby says, yeah, Neverending Story was horrible.
He just put orange juice and a raw egg in the blender and pureed them.
Well, protein.
You.
Well, look, remember Rocky, putting all those eggs in a glass and drinking them down?
Yeah.
That was disgusting, too.
Yeah, well, I had some eggs this morning with some corned beef hash. It was yummy.
But I'm sure you cooked the eggs.
Yeah.
See,
but with a nice runny yolk, though. Has Barret Oliver been in any much? Really become a big name. Let me see here. Oh, he was in Cocoon. Oh, he was Daryl. That's right. Yeah, he did kind of disappear, though.
Who is that? Were you talking about Gerald McCraney?
No, Barret Oliver. The
kid.
Yeah, he really didn't do much. I mean, he did a few things, but after a certain time, he kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Yes, we were just talking about that slasher. Well, I don't know if we were talking about it on stream or beforehand, but the German version of this is about 7 minutes longer,
Yeah.
and that is a jar of Sanka back there.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with. Oh man, nothing wrong with Sanka.
I agree. It's good to keep around because regular coffee grounds don't last very long. They go bad. Sanka never does.
That middle bully looks familiar. Like I've seen him as an adult.
Probably always plays a bully or a.
Don't go down an alley when you're being chased, kid.
Well, unless he knows where he's going. Doesn't really matter. He wasn't fast enough.
Kid, today those kids would have a YouTube channel pranking people.
Possibly. Take care, Samuel Proctor. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thank you, Samuel.
I'd go into like a store or something, say, I need help.
Well, that's kind of what he does.
And Slasher Fred says one of the scariest villains in the movie, other than the Nothing, was the Gamork.
Yeah.
How'd you even know
my
it was
type
a
of
kid?
store.
You can't even see him from there.
You know, I look at that bookstore and I think, man, I bet that smells good.
Right?
I love the smell of an old book.
Thomas Hill. No beep, 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 beeps.
We'll see him again in a little while. He was in Firefox. I'm gonna
Wait,
look
you
at it.
got like actual real books, kid?
Did you hear what I said?
No, I missed it. I got caught up in the movie.
Oh, Thomas Hill, that guy. He's in
Yeah.
He's in Firefox, which will be coming up.
Oh,
Not
okay.
that long.
Okay.
They always say it's something
Yeah.
very special. It's the never-ending story. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. You understand.
It's like, wouldn't you love to talk to that guy?
Right?
Is he going to steal the book?
I love this. I really do.
It's like saying, don't press the big red button.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only reason he said that and then left it right there was he literally wants him to take it and read it.
Now, does yours say the never-ending story or die unter
No, the never-ending story.
Mine actually had the German.
Oh, okay.
Said he's smiling. but-
See, yeah, he's like, I knew it. I knew it. He was the one.
Don't worry, I'll return your book. He's like,
That's weird. Mine, oh my God, mine was German. I think I have the German version, except mine is the same length.
Interesting.
It's the 130, 134. Yours is 134, right?
What about, are you hearing it in German?
No, I'm hearing the English. And it had never any, and it had the
wild.
song. It's not the German version. Maybe it was just an alternate copy on the
Interesting.
I know I have several versions of it. I do have like the German version.
apparently, he's got a secret key. Dude, you might want to take the key out of the
Yeah, no
lock.
kidding. See, he heard you through the fifth wall.
That's the attic.
Yep.
At first, I thought he was going to try and pull a fire alarm, and then I noticed that the thing was already broken, and I saw the word attic, so it's like,
Like there's a skeleton there.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah. Except it's metal clanging instead of the clickety clack of bone.
Although there's a skull on the shelf.
Mm.
I love
No,
when you were
there was a skeleton hanging in the corner.
Oh, I missed it. Slasher Fred says, I love when we were first introduced to the rock biter, and he is talking about he used to have lake where he used to live until it vanished. Oh, yeah. Lamal said it took 22 years to write the song. He had the melody for years and couldn't come up with the lyrics until he was tasked with writing the song for this movie. That's actually pretty cool.
There's a lot of great design to this film.
Yeah.
I would not want to be in the way of the big crash bangy. It's the Flintstones mobile.
Right.
There's Deep Roy.
Of course, Deep Roy, yeah. Who is all of the Oompa Loompas. Also a chess expert that will be coming up. I can't remember if it's this season or next season in Blake 7.
Rock Sweat?
Yeah. The ever-loving blue-eyed rock biter.
Oh, he wants the rocks.
Yeah.
It's like, you can eat it. That's fine. Just don't eat us.
I mean,
making a mess of his food.
I was just going to say, there really isn't an easy way to break up rocks like that without causing that kind of a spray.
Willy Wonka of the early years.
Yeah, right.
So wouldn't that mean he's a cannibal? No.
Not really. I mean, how is it any different than a human being who eats meat?
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. It's like we eat chicken.
Yeah.
The hole would be something.
What's interesting is the year that I saw this was also the year that Crisis on Infinite Earths was started in DC Comics, and the storyline was actually kind of similar about the antimatter universe destroying all the other matter universes. Is Deep Roy's voice
It's dubbed.
dubbed?
Yeah.
Thought so. Because I was going to say, I know his voice, and that ain't it. I think the bat is one of the coolest practical effects. He'll be there before you are. It really is a racist.
Well, at least you can fly, so you can get over stuff.
Right?
I feel like the idea of riding a snail.
It's like, you got a pocket to put those in?
Nope. Yeah, maybe. Exactly.
The nothing.
So Doran says, man, this low budget Arkham Asylum is, well, it's perfectly normal by their standards.
That would be a cool way to fly.
Nate,
I do love the cloud effects, though, how they do those clouds.
I get what you're saying, but rock is a very generic term. That's like saying protein. Okay? Specific kinds of rock is different. You know?
Well, like he said, quartz, limestone.
It looks like he's made out of
Sandstone?
granite, and he is a living sentient piece of granite, right? As opposed to the non-sentient rocks that are on the ground. Depending on how their life cycle works, it could be the equivalent of eating eggs. And remember, if you eat chicken eggs, those are unfertilized eggs.
Or like you always hear some of them call them pre-birds.
Pre-birds, yeah.
Always gives me a Flash Gordon vibe.
Yeah, right? Because it is that composite, of the, the background is separate from the foreground. Foreground's probably like some sort of a miniature or something.
Plus the color palette.
True.
Moses Gunn.
And I wouldn't call this low budget. This was a budget of 50 million Deutschmarks.
I think like I forget how
$27 million. Yeah. Most expensive, like you said, most expensive film ever produced in Germany at the time.
Yep. I love the big head things.
Yeah. Unless I'm mistaken, it's the close-ups are stop motion.
What do you call it when Batman doesn't go to church? Christian
What?
Bale.
Oh gosh. What do you call a fish with no eyes?
What? Oh.
You think about that one for a second.
Atreyu. Based on Atreus, which was the father of Agamemnon and Menelaus, and also the root where they got House Atreides.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. From the Greek. Man, this Dune sequel is weird. you, you could also say this Battlestar Galactica sequel is weird.
Yeah, yeah.
You got Boxy. I think I read they were originally going to paint Atreyu green or something.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look right.
No.
So Noah Hathaway, who is now a tattoo artist in LA.
Not a one.
Well, at least he's honest, you know.
So you're sending a boy to do this?
Well, it's a fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's meant for youngins.
Yes, but it makes me wonder, why aren't any of the men stepping up? This is your home too.
But
well, and the fact is the kid is a warrior. So
yeah, he has the skill set. Kind of a play. I always like the Aura. It's kind of a play on an Ouroboros. Was it Ouroboros or
Ouroboros? Yeah.
Ouroboros? Yeah. I can never say that word right. Great music. Da-na-na. No, but I read Noah Hathaway says he gets a lot of requests for tattoos of the Orin.
Wow,
in his tattoo
interesting.
parlor. He says
To be able to say that you got the Orin from Atreyu, you know,
Yeah.
like wow.
What a great portrayal of those eyes opening like that.
Yeah. I love the way with the lighting effects, the flashes of light, you get little glimpses of them.
Right. And see, you look at something like, you look at this setting and you're like, they made that.
Yeah.
It's just so, when you just love to just like have a towel and just like lay there and like chill.
Right.
It's just so beautiful.
Well, at least his lunch is pretty healthy. He's got an apple and a sandwich.
Man, I knew he just realized he forgot to click the Cosme link. He's just been listening to us all this time.
But for that amusing.
That's kind of a compliment there. It's like we trumped the movie.
Yeah. What do you call a medieval spy?
Surveillance. I like that one. That's a good one. Me and my love for medieval things.
Yeah, you know, there was a lot of films. This, Legend, I'm sure there's a lot of others I'm not thinking of off the top of my head where Krull was another one where a lot of these exterior scenes were filmed on sets that looked so real. It's got to be a very expensive way to film because of all the build you have to do. But at the same time, it gives you a great deal of control over your environment for filming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've always appreciated production designers because you literally sometimes you have to create everything ground up. I mean, when you look at Empire Strikes Back, Dagobah.
Yeah.
That's entirely a set piece. Why is this woman in Fantasia? Is she a dancing hippo?
Nope, I'm just going to stand here because it's in the script.
He's letting the sadness overtake him. Come on, Artax.
The horse actually looks sad, you know?
Yeah, he does.
And I'm not sure how they do it because it's a very subtle thing in the eyes. Can you imagine this from the horse's point of view? Which you're hurting my teeth.
Yeah. Such a crushing.
It is
God.
rough.
That is the saddest part of this whole movie.
Absolutely.
I mean, who cried when Old Yeller got shot at the end?
Yeah,
Come on, who cried?
come on. Yeah.
You know what happened to Artax after the movie?
Which one? There was two.
There were two.
Yeah.
Well, one of them. He was gifted to Noah Hathaway.
Really?
I did hear that. Unfortunately, he couldn't
He
keep
couldn't.
it.
He couldn't keep him. Couldn't get him
So
over.
he had to stay in Germany. Yeah. I love that when they show Bastian crying, you know. I mean, so far as he's concerned, he's just again reading a book, right?
Right, and if you think about it, Bastian's not only just read what happened, but he is reading the inner turmoil.
Yeah,
that Treyu is going through, because it's got to be giving more,
right.
than horse sunk, he walks away kind of thing.
As far as he's concerned at this point, he's becoming Atreyu just as much as he became Nemo and any other hero in any other book he read. So that just shows you how he gets wrapped up in a book. And honestly, I mean, it's happened to me too. I've had those kinds of emotional reactions over books that I've read too.
Yeah, you feel a part of it. You are the one experiencing it. I remember when I was reading Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Oh yeah.
For the first time, I was just so engrossed in that film.
Yeah.
I mean, in that book.
Right. You think of it as a film.
Right.
The way you read it, right?
Because I knew the characters, I was picturing it in my head.
I mean, in your head, it was Mark Hamill and Princess Leia, and you heard their voices.
And a great creature choice for the Ancient One.
Yep.
A big giant turtle, because tortoises live a very long time. I love turtles.
And the idea of a turtle, that literally has stuff growing on him, that actually happens in nature. Look at that. I like that. They heard him screaming.
Yep.
There's a section of Fire and Blood that no matter how many times I read over it, I cry. I understand.
They speak in I can't talk.
The royal we, yes.
Thank you.
I always believed that that's where Jurassic Park got that idea from.
And the person doing the voice of Morla is Robert Easton, who is known for a lot of the ability to do dialects and voices. But he was in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, as the Klingon judge.
Oh, okay.
Just happened to come across that while I was looking him up.
You know, by the time he played that role, he had such bad arthritis that the glove he wore, that the ball that was his gavel, was actually part of the glove because he couldn't hold anything like that in his hands.
Cool.
And the sparking effect was done by a wire connected to the ball, running up his arm, connected to a car battery. And when it connected with the metal, it caused the sparks. You can't.
Yep.
Well, I would walk 10,000 miles.
You see a little bit of ET in there in his face.
Well, I like what Sir Torrance said. Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
3. We know it's 3. If you have very good teeth.
No,
3.
I know what he would say. It doesn't matter. The one thing I didn't understand is why, if you're going to ditch class, why would you stay at the school? Why don't you just go home?
He was hoping not to go back to the bullies. And
well, the bullies are presumably in school.
I figured he was going to stay there for one class period and then go to his next class. Instead, the dummy is staying in the attic.
There's the skeleton. Yeah, I see.
At the school.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And how did he even know about the attic in the school?
Well, you get the impression he's been here many times before for him to know about that key.
Yeah, he's probably had to hide, get away from things. You get the feeling he's a troubled kid. That's a great little
segue there. Absolutely brilliant. God, the incidental music here is just great.
Yeah, it is. Slugging along. Music done by Klaus Doldinger and Giorgio Moroder.
This piece of music always made me think of what's his name?
Vangelis.
No, I was going to say, and I can't remember his name. He sang "Meet Me Halfway Across the Sky" from the movie Over the Top.
Oh, I don't
Somebody
know.
knows who that was.
Oh, I
Falcor.
Same guy that wrote Footloose or sang Footloose.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins, right, exactly. And that was the other thing. My brother really loved Falcor because he was really into dragons, particularly that style of dragon, the Asian dragons.
Yeah.
Basically, the ones
I love that one Falcor still exists. And that people can actually go there and get on him and take pictures.
Really? You would think that because of the fur and whatnot,
Oh, I'm sure they take special precautions and stuff, but
I would imagine
he exists. It's like,
And see these kinds of details, like his breathing, so much goes into making it look alive,
Mm-hmm.
Then he wakes up next to a sky bison. Yeah, basically.
It's a big doge.
Yes.
It's a doge dragon.
But I love how they have like the scales,
Yeah,
and the fur.
Yep. And the eyes give him so much personality.
Mm-hmm. For breakfast.
Cool. Fly me 10,000 miles so I can reach the south.
I remember once being at a doctor's appointment and I was waiting for the van, and I was looking at the clouds, and up in the clouds there was Falcor.
Oh, wow.
Clouds. I still have that picture somewhere.
Nice.
If I could find it, I'll show you guys. I don't know if it's on this computer though.
Yeah. Who does the voice of Falcor?
Who does Falcor? Alan Oppenheimer.
Really?
He does Falcor, Gmork, Rockbiter, and he's the narrator.
And of course, Skeletor.
Skeletor.
I'll get you to the Southern Oracle.
Yeah, but they're 9 miles short.
Who's also Rudy Wells in $6 Million Man.
Mm-hmm.
I missed something. It's more than one what?
Not sure. I missed the line. We'll get it from context in a moment.
Oh, look at that, a little pointy-eared guy.
Oops.
Too brave.
It does make me think of those characters, yeah.
He was also in Dragon Slayer. He played Hodge.
With gummy worms.
That one tooth in front.
Yeah, I know.
I like how she calls him little man.
Oh, he's young.
Even though he's many times her size.
Hey, with real bat wing.
They always love to put Eye of Newt and stuff.
Mr. Torrance said, "It's nice to see that the couple from The Princess Bride are getting work."
Oh wow, that actress Patricia Hayes played Finn Rizal in Willow.
Oh, okay. To the winch, wench. That was my brother's favorite line. He laughed so hard every time.
That's a lot of stars.
And what's wrong with direct observation?
Right?
What's interesting is you almost have to assume that each one of those crystals is a lens,
Mm-hmm.
of different strengths.
Yeah. People don't get that far. Well, shouldn't there be like a riddle or something? It's a knight.
He just wants to see him get blasted.
Whoa.
Yep, that's bad. That's very, very bad.
Well, he was a red shirt.
But you notice the horse was fine.
Yep.
Well, the horse knows its worth.
I guess the horse knew what he was worth. And he was getting the hell out of there.
The horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Yep. Well, next time it'll be him, so
Well,
yeah.
next time, don't offer to somebody else to look through.
Yeah, you really should get all the info before you go.
Yeah.
Well, you get the impression he's a bit of a straightforward,
Yes,
no
absolutely.
nonsense.
And isn't the luck dragon going to go with him? I mean,
Apparently not.
but he needs luck.
Maybe the luck dragon can't go through it. It's one of those things that needs to be faced alone.
Only the penitent man shall pass. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. Thanks, Glum.
Right?
They'll never make it.
Hold on to the Orin before it ends up on Steven Spielberg's desk.
Right.
Well, what he should do is just run past him and do zigzags so they can't get him.
I'm sure that they can aim. Let's face it, they're eyes. If they can see you, they can hit you.
Yep.
And don't get distracted by their nipples.
Which are off center.
Well,
It's like, oh boy.
Must be chilly in the
yeah.
Oracle.
Well, you hear that wind blowing, right? Man, hard as rocks.
Oh, he was fried.
I mean, he's not even in there
Yep.
anymore.
Something tells me there's more to it than that, because I'm betting you that night, probably had a degree of arrogance. He probably thought so highly of himself.
See? All you gotta do is run, dodge, jump. They only do one firebolt.
Oh,
Vroom, da-da-boom.
watch out! He's going to knock that last tooth out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, sure you did.
Magic Mirror Gate.
Well, at least it's not Watergate. Hope that's not asbestos.
Yeah. No, not in 84. Well, get on with it.
He's probably chilly.
I'm guessing this is where Ryan Johnson got his idea for Ray looking into the mirror.
Like this, and of course you have Harry Potter and that mirror. But that's kind of cool.
Yep.
It's like, who's this kid?
Yeah. That's pretty rude. That's not even your book. You got to return it. You were warned, though. You were warned.
Yeah.
You can't leave a tray you hang in.
Right. Yeah. They're counting on you and Atreyu, so you got to keep reading, dude.
I bet his father's frantic with worry. Now that you've wrinkled the pages.
Right. Yeah, that's where they were going.
Yeah. So he's got to go through this baloney again and hope that they don't zap him or freeze him. And now he's sweating. You're going to be our lunch. Oh, long time Atreyu, so they know his name. You got to go back 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
And now we're going to fall apart on you. Okay, so where's the end of Fantasia? I have a splitting headache.
Yeah.
Okay, which direction do I go in? At least tell me that. First, I thought that was snow.
I know. It's beautiful, isn't it?
And because it's so tiny, it looks like a little newt going through the clouds.
Yeah. I have no idea.
With luck.
He is a luck dragon after all. You get the impression that he enjoys this.
Yep.
It's like that poor kid was probably in front of a very big blowing fan and probably freezing his tuchus off.
Possibly.
Sitting on top of some furry thing.
Yeah. No, I bet he really was having fun, though.
Love the music.
You also have to figure some pilot had to fly, to capture this footage. So
I think something about, I heard that they put a camera in the front of a helicopter for some scenes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot of cobwebs. Where's my necklace? I see animal tracks. Toes. There are toes.
Yep.
Stupid bat. Yeah, I could throw you that far. Aw.
Yeah.
A big old one.
Yep.
You just feel sorry for him. Couldn't hold on to his friends.
Don't mess with Falcor. The last guy that did got the Falcor punch.
Oh, cool mural.
They're all pictures of his adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff we've seen already.
Yep.
And they're older pictures. It's not
Yes.
Like, not like they're new.
Right. In fact, they're ancient.
So see what's next in the story, kid. It's a big bad wolf.
Exactly. It's very clever to show what's coming next.
He's a doge. Apparently not. He must have missed that history class.
It's a part of the dreaming. Aha. Very, very poignant.
Yep.
So Gomorrah is just DEI on steroids. I'd go farther than that. He's neo-Marxism.
I don't think I would have told him that.
Well, it's control, right?
Yeah.
He took control.
Is that the blue fairy? There's his necklace.
So from what I was reading, those storm clouds and whatnot are not supposed to actually be the nothing. It's just supposed to be the effect of the approaching
Right.
nothing, because nothing
Because
literally
nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
But it's a good metaphor to use.
Yeah,
Nothing's
absolutely.
stripping away everything, you know.
Yep.
Your happiness, your home, yeah.
Like a black hole or a all-consuming fire.
Don't put out the candles, kid. You'll be in the dark.
Right, exactly.
I expect it to be sparkly glowy or something.
Right? Kind of like that.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it. All these people living in their ivory towers.
I was just getting Cosmos flashbacks from this,
Yeah.
from the music, because it does remind me of that Vangelis.
As Superman 4 taught us, we can breathe in space. Well, Superman 2 told us you can talk on the moon.
Okay, all the kid had was one sandwich and an apple. And it's been so many hours now. The kid must be starving. And what about having to go to the bathroom? He hasn't left that room.
Well, if you don't eat, you don't have to go to the bathroom.
I mean, he didn't even have anything to drink.
That's why they call it fantasy.
Right, exactly.
I guess. You ever notice that in the movies, no one ever has to go to the bathroom?
Right. Well, the assumption is that they go off screen, in between scenes.
Yeah, is it really something you want to see?
Right.
I mean,
Unless it's germane to the story, like Danny Glover sitting down on the toilet,
right.
where it's an important part of the story. Have you seen what Terry Stronach looked like when she grew up?
Oh, yes. She is a lovely, lovely woman.
With incredibly piercing eyes.
She still looks like an empress,
Yeah, right?
Really, this is the only thing she really ever did film-wise. Everything else, because she was a dancer.
Yeah.
But she's starting to come back and do a few things, I think.
She did a TV movie in 2008, an episode of a podcast in 2017. She was in a movie in 2018.
I like that headpiece she's got.
And she did a film in 2024.
I think she was 11 when she did this.
Didn't you, though? Didn't you get in touch with her? He's like, what am I? What?
Yeah. So, as a bit of a setup here, you obviously know that the characters in this book are aware of Bastian, especially the childlike Empress, who in a moment is going to speak directly to him.
What's that? It's a book.
Here. Others are sharing his.
Right.
She's talking about us. And that is the fifth wall break. The fourth wall break is Bastian interacting with them. But she is referring to us. That is the fifth wall break.
I think that would be kind of creepy to be reading and go, wait, oh, how is this about me?
And that is why I chose myself as the character to represent a character in the story. Because back in 1985, that kid you're seeing right there on the screen there was a character in this.
So, kid, you need to shout out a name or something.
Julius is like, hey, that's us.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's really you. Okay, so give her a new name. Call out your mom's name. Well, come on, save the world. Apparently not.
That little girl really sells it. She really does.
Call out the name.
And she had to do the scene twice.
Yep.
Because there was they found a fly that was flying around her head when they were looking at it.
You got like less than a minute here before
Yeah.
she's gone.
Well, I'm sorry. I can only explain to you, Matanui. I can't understand it for you.
Say the name.
I do like the fact that he's got a storm going on, around him that seems to reflect what's going on in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you grow it again? And there's my avatar.
And now she's Empress Moonchild.
Yep. Or if you want to get technical, she's Empress Montenkind, because German.
German, yeah.
Which translates probably better as Child of the Moon.
Now her makeup is a lot more subtle too. Before her eyes were darker with the makeup.
Yeah, right. All of the wishes.
Mm-hmm. For an 11-year-old, those eyes, that is an old soul.
Right? That's why this kid nails it. I mean, you don't realize how young she is. She was missing her 2 front teeth. She's wearing falsies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ride Falcor.
Yeah, exactly.
So what other movies has Falcor been in? Like, what's he been up to lately?
Well, like I said, He-Man, he played Skeletor. So literally everything that was destroyed has been restored.
Yeah.
Including Artax. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we only get our tax in, April.
Right. I wish I had $1 million. Hot dog. I love this. It's like, wait a minute, how is this even possible? Well, because it's a wish. It's a fantasy.
Oh, why are those kids in the middle of the street?
And then go down the exact same alleyway.
It's like, okay, we're not going to mess with that kid no more.
Incoming.
Another story.
Another story. Was there a part 2 of this?
Yes.
Well,
part 3.
Well, he's referring to the movies. This was based on a book, and this is really only the first half of the book.
Right, yeah.
Ah.
I think what's amazing, this was true about so many songs back then, the harmonies. So how do you guys like having actually been a part of this movie? Because that's what it's implying.
Yep.
It was cool.
It's like we were sharing the adventures of a young boy sharing the adventure of another young boy.
And if you think about it, all of the dreams and fantasies and fictions that you've internalized have built Fantasia since then.
There are a lot of German names.
Well, yeah. It was basically a German production.
Although I think Noah Hathaway was filming his all his stuff was in Germany, whereas Barret Oliver's scenes were filmed in Vancouver, and I think they've only met once.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
Curtis Selby, thank you for the movie. You're welcome. JPRPH, thank you very much. Lady Mist seemed to have enjoyed it. Saying thank you for the super fun movie.
You're not far from wrong with that, Curtis Selby. He says, now we know the real mission of Kathleen Kennedy. She's a servant of the nothing trying to end Fantasia. You're absolutely right. That's why we have to continue to fight the woke mind virus and the culture war.
She's more like Gwark.
Yeah, exactly. But she doesn't even realize her role in all of this. At least he did.
And that is the never-ending story. Such a great fantasy movie. Like I said, one of those great cult classics that found its second life thanks to cable TV.
Yeah,
And that's how it's kind of, and a great theme song, which is just still so, it just makes you feel good to listen to. It just does. So I was just wondering how many people out there have never seen this, that this was their
good
first
question.
time.
Yeah.
Because you always wonder about an older film like that, something that's it's been around and people have heard of. Just wondering how many people had never seen it before and this was their first time.
Yeah.
So that's the real reason why Anakin didn't like sand.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
In fact, like another good one, Big Al. Well, thank you. And that's why we do these. Just find these fun movies and share them with you guys, or even if you've seen them before, just like I said, just sitting around having fun on the couch with some pizza and some popcorn, enjoying a movie together. Even though we really can't physically be together, we can be there together in spirit. Or just like I said, just reminds me of the old days when I had my friends come over and we just sit there and watch a film. That's why I love to do these. So do you want to talk about the next week's film, or do you just want to start going through the week? What you think?
Well, we could go through the week and then end up on next Saturday.
Okay. Let's go through the week. Let's go through the week for it. Of course, tomorrow is Sunday, and that is, of course, the deleted scenes biggest work day. Let us know what you got going on tomorrow. Deleted. I know he's got. We'll see. I don't know if you have a movie going on or if you've got. You probably have.
I thought I saw Unscripted was already posted.
Unscripted, and I believe
yes,
his new late night show is going to be starting
Sunday night with is this the one where I think this is the one with Sin,
yeah
yeah.
So check out him, but of course right after his Unscripted, that's at 8 p.m. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Geeky Geezers with Aged Boomer and, of course, Troy Pacelli. Got a preview for us?
Yes. In addition to Aged Boomer and Troy Pacelli, Deleted Scenes will be joining us. And Aged Boomer and Deleted Scenes will be talking about the Oscars and the nominations and all that stuff around there, which will be a great primer, I'm sure, for the late night show.
Very underwhelming list this year, it seems to me.
Well, keep in mind that some of the best films from the year aren't even eligible for Oscars because of their DEI requirements.
Yeah, that is so stupid. But
I will probably do a little mini rant on that tomorrow night myself.
Yeah, I was like looking at these. I'm like, I don't know half of these movies. I haven't even heard of them. I mean, at least usually I've heard of the movie. Just like some of these, I'm like, what is that film?
And I think they're in for a rude awakening about how much people actually care about.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody's going to care. Nobody cares about this list. So yeah, tune in to Geeky Geezers and find out what these guys think about the Academy Award nominations. Then, of course, on Monday, yes,
it's going to be a very special Monday night at the movies. You will need to watch live. This is not something that you'll be able to watch separately on your own unless you know how to find it. I will be streaming the fan edit of Superman 3 and 4
called
Superman Redeemed. We were
yeah.
talking about Superman last night, specifically 3 and 4, and how bad they were. And I brought up that a fan edit that combined the two films actually made the story much better. One, collective story. And we will be checking that out on Monday night.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
8
Deleted
Central,
Scenes.
9 Eastern.
Deleted Scenes have up there is no midnight show this week unless he can secure a last minute guest. He tried to get me.
Okay.
He tried to get me, but I have a doctor's appointment on Monday morning. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no way I can stand by. I'm got a very busy couple of weeks here with
Sure.
my teeth are going to be getting a good going over in the next couple of months.
I get that, yeah.
But I told him I'll be on when I can. I just couldn't do it this weekend. Of course, then it goes into Tuesday, Sparkwood 21.
Absolutely.
8 p.m. on Deleted Scenes, and of course at all.
I think we're back to 8:30. Correct me if I'm wrong, Deleted Scenes, but.
And then after Sparkwood 21, you got a little bit of Blake 7 action going on around the 9:30 mark, 10 o'clock mark.
Yeah, 9:30-ish. The third episode of season 2. The episode is called Weapon. The battle rages on between the freedom fighters and the Federation as they search for the stolen prototype of Imicpac. Delayed death at the press of a button. Servalan and Travis have a clone of Blake, and they're anticipating the Liberator's every move. Can the folk heroes escape annihilation this
Well,
time?
if they're taking Ipecac, they're just going to be throwing up all the time.
Imicpac.
Of course, nothing on Wednesday. Thursday.
Well, Thursday, I don't have my guest lined up yet. There's someone that I'm waiting to get back to me, so I might have a guest. I might have the Nostalgic Podcast as my guest. If not, it'll be me and Troy shooting the breeze.
Absolutely. And all of you, of course.
Yes. And I am trying to set up a stream where it's going to be a kind of a question answers thing about home insurance, because especially with the California wildfires,
what happened in North Carolina and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that as well. What they can do, what they can expect. I mean, we're homeowners. We don't have any other stuff going on, but I still think, I would like to know, what can I do for horrific situations to make sure that I'm covered, for our house. So I'm trying to get that set up.
Very cool.
And then as far as Friday goes.
Friday at 8 p.m., back at 8 p.m., Eastern Standard Time this week, I'll be joined by Deleted Scenes, and we will be watching the 1954 monster classic, Them. That's right, giant ants are loose in the desert. And it is up to James Arness and James Whitmore and Santa Claus.
Do you know about the sequel to that movie? It's called They. It's about a bunch of giant uncles. Sorry.
But yeah, I'm gonna be watching Them. Very one of my favorite older sci-fi films. So gonna have a lot of fun doing that. Of course, after that, it'll be Last Call with Troy Pacelli, and what's going to be going on this week.
If we came up with a topic for Friday last night, I don't remember it. So I'll have to ask Boomer what we talked about tomorrow. So I will let you guys know.
Okay, so whatever the liquor has wrought is what's going to happen.
That's the problem. Anything at the end of a show, I'm not going to remember. I only remember like the first half of the show.
Yeah. Oh, Gleason looks like Sid's coming back for part 2 from last week.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Cool.
And then next Saturday night on Netters Network, Netters Retro Cinema is going to have
Fantastic beasts.
And where to find them.
So
Yes.
that is the start of the the Potterverse.
And
It's a
unfortunately, Falcor
prequel.
won't be one of them.
Right,
That'd be kind of
exactly.
cool, though.
Yeah, so I've never seen it, which is weird
Really?
because I love the Harry Potter films. But I've never seen the Fantastic Beasts, the
What's
Newt
really cool
Scamander
about
series.
this is it's Harry Potter, you know, the Harry Potter world, but set in the U.S.
Oh, cool!
Yep.
That'll be very interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And of course, in 2 weeks, in February, we're going to be starting Future Imperfect. February, going to be watching Damnation Alley, which is from 1977, a sci-fi film that kind of got overlooked because of another sci-fi film. I wonder what that one was.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching that one, and 2 weeks after that's going to be Silent Running. So they're both sci-fi films about a future that didn't quite turn out the best, and we'll
Yeah.
see why. But 2 classic sci-fis coming up in February. I want to thank everyone. Oh, Catherine Waterstone is cute. Yes, she is. I can agree with that. I know who he is talking about. I do want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Troy, do you have any final words for the folks? Or
nope, just want to thank everybody for coming out and enjoying the film with us. I was reading your comments. It looks like everyone that I saw that commented said they had at least seen it once before. Many of you had seen it multiple times, but yeah, it's
it seemed like everybody was having a good time tonight. I'm very happy about that. Of course, I always let Netter end things, but so I will give my little spiel now. Of course, I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you so much. Remember to check out my channel, Big Al Presents, for more reviews, rewatches, and rambles in the weeks and months to come. I always want you to find something fun to watch, and if you're looking for something fun to watch, it's kind of slim pickings lately here. Well, I do got some reviews up for the new Wolfman film, which is it's okay. And Back in Action with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz, that's on Netflix, which is actually a surprisingly fun little popcorn film. And of course, Skeleton Crew, and of course, as things come up, I will review them. It's just a matter of, it's kind of a slow period right now for big films. But anyway, but of course, the lovely childlike Empress that has joined us this evening, Netter, please take us home. Tell us about what you need to tell everybody.
Well, I want to remind everybody that I did drop a new video. I basically call it sock organization, but it's really socks, underwear, anything that's small that you need to get organized, and you probably have like all over the place. My sock drawer at the time I did that video was just this huge mess. And so I use the organizing things that I got for my socks, but you can use those organizers for just about anything. So pop over to my channel, watch the vid, give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. This way I know that you actually, saw it. If you have any comments, questions, whatever, drop them below the vid. I'm happy to answer y'all. And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves. And that's all well, good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping the comments and questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. Feels like we're all hanging out in our family room, passing the popcorn, having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. And you could be anywhere right now and you're here. And that means so much. I mean, not just to those of us on the panel, but to all of you in the chat. I mean, I know when I'm in other people's chats, I love seeing the same people all the time because it's like, there's my family, you know? And if I don't see you guys, I miss you. So if you ever can't make a stream, if you can just pop in and say hi so we know you're okay, we really do appreciate that. Because if you're not here, like I said, I miss you and we all miss you and we wonder if you're okay. So if you wouldn't mind, if you can't make a stream, like sit through the whole thing, just pop in, say hi, just so we know you're okay and we won't have to worry about you. But thank you for the many, many ways that you guys support our channels. You do the comments during the stream and afterwards, the thumbs up, sharing out the stream. For those of us who are monetized, you become members. You do super chats and super stickers. I mean, you guys are Osmo. You really are. And I'm always saying that we don't do this for us because we don't. We do it for you. And we're glad that you like what we're doing and you keep coming back. And every bit of support that you give us, well, it just encourages the snot out of us. So we're going to keep doing this. So it's your fault. But until next time, which will be, let's see, Saturday. So Sunday over on Geeky Geezers. And before that, all the deleted scene stuff because the man never sleeps.
Yeah.
Until that time, good night and God bless. And thank you again.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Have a beautiful, lovely Sunday ahead, and of course, another week before us. But just have fun and enjoy. God bless you guys, and take care. Thank you for coming.